The arena lights cast long shadows across the polished hardwood as the second unit took the floor.
House.
Most fans wouldn't have bet $1 on what was about to unfold. The Lakers were struggling, their rhythm broken, their confidence wavering like a candle in the wind. Jake Larrabee stepped onto the court with trembling hands. This was his moment, his chance to prove he belonged in this league. He'd spent countless nights in empty gyms, perfecting his shot, visualizing this exact scenario. His first attempt sailed through the air, spinning backward and found nothing but net. Oh, the arena erupted, but Jake barely heard it. He was already thinking about the next play, the next opportunity. DeAndre Ayton had arrived as a free agent with something to prove after his tumultuous departure from Portland. Every rebound he grabbed, every screen he set, was a statement. He wasn't just a role player anymore. He was a foundation. When Julius Randle caught the ball in the corner, everyone in the building knew what was coming. The three-pointer arced beautifully, and the scoreboard ticked closer. 40% from beyond the arc this season, those weren't just numbers, they were redemption coded in mathematics. The Minnesota defense scrambled, but holes were appearing in their armor like cracks in a dam about to burst. Dante DiVincenzo had been invisible for most of the season. A forgotten name on the depth chart, a player whose potential had been whispered about in draft rooms, but never fully realized on an NBA court. Tonight, something was different. His eyes held a fire that his teammates recognized immediately. When he caught the pass in rhythm, its release was pure poetry, the kind of shot that makes coaches nod knowingly and scouts frantically update their reports. His second three-pointer rattled home, and suddenly the Lakers bench was alive, a writhing mass of towels and enthusiasm. Rob Dillingham, Minnesota's prized 8th overall pick, was supposed to be their answer, their future all-star. Every minute he played was an investment in tomorrow. He moved with the kind of speed that coaches can't teach, the genetic lottery blessing that separates good players from special ones. His left-handed floater kissed the rim and fell away, but Rudy Gobert was there, all 7 feet of veteran presence, cleaning up the miss with the casual efficiency of someone who'd done it 10,000 times before. The Timberwolves had firepower, they had talent, but something intangible was shifting in the building's atmosphere. Jackson Hayes entered the game with the desperation of a player fighting for his NBA life. Every opportunity felt like it might be his last. When he caught the lob, time seemed to suspend. His prayer was answered with a thunderous dunk that sent shockwaves through both benches. The game had transformed from a routine regular season matchup into something electric, something memorable. Barron and Vanderbilt hustled on every possession, their energy infectious, turning defense into offense with the kind of effort that doesn't show up in box scores but defines championships. Austin Reeves wasn't supposed to be here. Undrafted, overlooked, underestimated, the story wrote itself.
Ow.
But stories don't win basketball games, players do. We're still warm. And Reeves was playing like a man possessed by the ghost of every great Laker who'd ever worn purple and gold. His 11 assists weren't just passers, they were brushstrokes on a masterpiece. Each one perfectly timed, impossibly threaded through defensive schemes that looked impenetrable. Earlier that week, he dropped 51 points in a game that had the entire league talking. Tonight, he was proving that wasn't a fluke. It was an announcement. When Reeves drove to the basket, it was like watching a chess grandmaster calculate 7 moves ahead. He'd fake, probe, retreat, then suddenly explode through the smallest of gaps with a banker that kissed the glass perfectly. 14 assists. The number glowed on the stat sheet like a neon sign. Mike Conley, the wily veteran on Minnesota's side, tried everything in his defensive arsenal, his ambidextrous finishing, his crafty positioning, his decades of playoff experience. But Reeves seemed to exist half a second in the future, always knowing where the next opening would appear. LaRabia was feeding off Reeves' energy like a parasite that had finally found its perfect host. 6 of 7 from the field, 18 points, 24 points, each basket built on the last, his confidence swelling until it filled the entire arena. When he faked and fired from three-point range, the ball barely disturbed the net. The 14-point lead felt insurmountable, inevitable, like watching dominoes fall in slow motion. Minnesota's coach called timeout after timeout, but you can't coach against momentum. You can only weather it and hope it passes. But momentum in basketball is a fickle mistress. Just when the Lakers thought they'd buried the Timberwolves, Minnesota remembered they were a team built for exactly these moments. Anthony Edwards might have been sidelined with his hamstring injury. Their star dimmed temporarily, but champions don't crumble when one light goes out. Julius Randle had been quietly brilliant all night, 20 points in the first half. Alone but now, he shifted gears from efficient to unstoppable. His post moves were surgical, each spin and fadeaway erasing portions of the Lakers' lead like an eraser on a chalkboard. Bones Highland emerged from the bench like a man who'd been waiting his entire life for this exact moment. Point in 6 minutes. 3 of 3 from the field? His confidence wasn't just swagger, it was mathematics proving itself correct. Every shot seemed to bend probability, rattling around the rim before dropping through. The Minnesota zone defense, a desperate gamble by their coaching staff, began suffocating the Lakers' offensive flow. What had been easy became difficult. What had been automatic became contested. Jaden McDaniels, all arms and athleticism, started hunting Austin Reeves like a predator who'd finally identified the weakest gazelle. His three-pointer from the corner wasn't just a shot. It was a statement. The lead that had been 14 was suddenly 11, then 8, then 5. Arena's roar became a murmur, became a gasp. Randle found DiVincenzo, who found McDaniels, who threw down a dunk that sent electricity through Minnesota's bench. 3-point game, 90 seconds remaining. Every possession now felt like it lasted an hour. Chaos. Pure, unfiltered chaos. This is where legends are forged, where role players become heroes, where seasons pivot on a single possession. Mike Conley, the oldest player on the court, moved with the calm of someone who'd been here before, in bigger games, against better teams. His eyes scanned the floor, searching for the perfect angle. McDaniels caught his pass and threw down a thunderous dunk that tied the game and sent the visitors section into absolute pandemonium. The momentum had completed its revolution. Minnesota's comeback was complete. But Austin Reeves wasn't finished writing his story. With 5 seconds remaining, the ball found his hands as if guided by destiny itself. The defense collapsed around him like a closing fist, but he'd already seen the opening, already calculated the trajectory, already committed to the impossible. He split the defense with a move so quick it barely registered on the broadcast cameras. In the paint, surrounded by giants, he elevated and released a floater that seemed to hang in the air for an eternity. The ball rotated backwards, its arc perfect, its trajectory ordained. The buzzer sounded. The ball dropped through the net. The arena exploded into a symphony of disbelief and ecstasy. Austin Reeves had done it again another impossible shot, another moment that would replay on highlight reels for years. As officials reviewed the timing, nobody in the building doubted what they'd witnessed. This was basketball at its purest. Drama, skill, heart, and one undrafted guard proving that the best stories aren't written before the game begins. They're written in the final seconds when everything is on the line, and only the brave dare to take the shot.